After the first part of the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC came out, and kinda sucked, I, as well as a lot of other people, was hoping that the Crown Tundra would be different. I was hoping it would be better, and I was hoping it would make the $30 expansion pass worth it. I was hoping it would invigorate some kind of passion that was missing from Pokemon Sword and Shield within me. Well, it didn't. Spoilers, I guess. The Crown Tundra is really not exciting. It's okay. But if you saw my review of the Isle of Armor, you will know that I am not okay with my favorite game series just being okay. These DLC adventures are a huge waste of potential, resources, time, and maybe even your money if you're watching this. As a longtime fan of this stuff, it matters to me, as lately I've just been seeing Pokemon simmer down into a more and more easy, generic, and boring experience. It sucks. I won't go over my full Pokemon nerd resume again, as I talked about that in my first video. You'll just have to believe me when I say I love this series, and I've been playing it religiously for almost 20 years now. So you might be thinking, why is this guy so salty about a DLC pack that he just said is okay? Fair question, but it's about what it represents for the series moving forwards. If this is what Pokemon is becoming permanently, I'm going to be done with this series real soon. I'll be outlining why expansion passes just don't make sense for a Pokemon game later in the video, so please watch until the end and leave me a comment of what you thought about the Crown Tundra and the Pokemon series in general. Today, I'm going to be telling you my opinions on what isn't very good about the Crown Tundra, and why this is another step in the wrong direction for the main series Pokemon games. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the main quest and story. Well, I was a bit underwhelmed. I don't know if it's just me running out of patience with this, or I was particularly bad at this expansion, but when I play a game, I want to play a game. I don't want to be locked into cutscenes where I have to read asinine text boxes to progress. This aspect of Pokemon never really has bothered me until recently, but it just annoyed me so much when, to progress through the main story in the Crown Tundra, I literally had to go to a bookshelf and read 6 books worth of dialogue boxes. Oh my god. Honey, it's 4 PM. Time for your daily fucking reading lesson. You have to read all of them? Earlier in the story, I had to go and talk to literally every single NPC in a town when they really had nothing of substance to say just to progress the story. It's such a lazy and boring way of shoving the story down my throat. They even got Calyrex, the legendary mascot of this entire DLC pack, to possess this poor dude so he can just vomit text at me. This is like that scene in Harry Potter where they touch the cursed necklace and she just fucking dies. I preferred when he just said nonsense Pokemon talk to me, to be honest. Rum. Crowround. Crackround. I feel like Pokemon's either gotta get some voice acting finally to make it a bit more engaging, or, God forbid, they could actually make me want to read it. How could you do this? Well, if it were at all interesting with any stakes I cared about, then maybe I would actually want to know more. But, like in the Isle of Armor, the story was pretty average. I would say I cared a little more than I did in the Isle, because there was some aspect of a conflict, but I definitely would not say I was hanging off the edge of my seat while I was playing. Oh! Grab little old lady, 12 o'clock! There are specific moments that just completely break any semblance of interests I might have had, and I'm actually baffled by the lazy Deus Ex Machina crap they pull on us. My least favourite part was when it seems like there's actually going to be some conflict. You need to craft these reins Calyrex needs to ride on his horse, but the only person who has ever been taught this ancient technique of crafting the reins passed on by his family fails. I was actually surprised for a second. What were we actually going to do? Not everything had gone perfect for once. But lo and behold, this dude who has absolutely no relation to the family lineage or even the town I was in just rolls up and makes them within like 5 seconds. He's like, oh, just give it to me, bro. I got this, no worries. Deus Ex Machina? Perfect. The reasoning behind why he can do this is because he was making outfits for his daughter. Stuff. What is this? What is this stupid? Is that really the reasoning behind this? Because he made these clothes and now he can make ancient reigns of fucking legend? Yeah. Don't know about that one. Like, you might be thinking, Peter, why are you so upset about this tiny detail? And I'm actually glad you asked, because how can anyone possibly get invested in the story when random stuff like that will just come and save the day at any given point? This teaches the player that nothing actually matters because some things will just randomly work out no matter what. It's predictable, lazy, and I think it's just an inexcusable waste of potential. So the story isn't great. No real surprise on that one. It is Pokemon after all. Pokemon's never really been story driven, whatever. So what about the good shit, the gameplay? Well, this one gets a little bit weird for me. When I was complaining about the Isle of Armor, I said it was too easy, with battles against weak trainers not really challenging me, even when I purposely gave myself a bad and underleveled team. Well, the Crown Tundra does fix this problem I had, but it's not exactly in the way I was hoping. There aren't too many easy battles because there just aren't any battles. You fight Peony at the start, and that's about it for trainer battles. So yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this one. Like, sure, it gets rid of one of my main problems with the Isle of Armor, but without battling, Pokemon is just walking from A to B and talking to different NPCs, catching the occasional Pokemon and planting carrots? Damn, that's one thick-ass carrot. It literally boiled down to walk to the town, talk to the dude, go find something in the area, go back to town, read 10 text boxes, and repeat. So instead of being boring because the battles are too easy, it's boring because there are no battles. An elegant solution by Game Freak for sure. And yes, I know there's more battles at the very end, but I played this thing until it said the end, alright, get off my back. Oh, it says the end, but it's underneath me. The end. So the story was kinda average. Alright, what else have we got in the DLC? Now the new raids called Dynamax Adventures are a big feature and they're actually pretty cool. I like the choose your own path aspect of it with rental Pokemon. Rental Pokemon have always been pretty fun to me, and it forces you to try out stuff you might not normally go for, making things interesting and potentially adding replay value and a couple of hours of gameplay. I had a fun one where me and some of my viewers from the stream built a team, chose a path through water types and rock types to beat a Ho-Oh at the end, and it was actually a pretty satisfying victory. The strategy is working! Yes, we did it, gamers. We did it. I just find that raids are so slow and not interactive enough to be interesting in the long term. You do like one input every 2 minutes, and you just have to watch the raid unfold, and it's pretty painful. It makes the RNG elements of the games feel extra bad. Now normally I don't really have a problem with the RNG elements like crits and misses and secondary effects when I play these games, but when you get one attack every 2 minutes and then it misses, it feels really bad. I like the idea of raids, and I like the idea of the Dynamax Adventures. The rewards are great. You get perfect IV, hidden ability Pokemon, high shiny odds, rare species for your decks, it's all pretty good stuff. But you could literally play a raid at 2 times speed, and I think that everyone would probably actually rather that. It sounds like problematic pacing to me, and it makes me not want to do much of these in the future. Another big selling point of this DLC pack is the return of all the legendaries. Now, I don't tend to use legendaries in my teams much in Pokemon. I do like a few of them, especially the weaker ones, because I've used them in the lower tiers of competitive Pokemon and had a really good time. I love the legendary dogs and the Swords of Justice, and I'm actually a really big fan of these new Galarian form birds. Their designs are really cool, and in my opinion, the changing types is a great mix-up for some of the fan favorites. I honestly wish more legendaries had got this treatment. The Sinnoh Lake trio is such a boring trio of legendaries, and they're so forgettable that changing their designs and types would have been more than welcome. Alright, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Yeah, Lake Trio. And we could have got a remix to this absolutely bopping theme. Go bring this shit back. Anyway, the insanely powerful ones with the high base stats aren't super interesting to me, so legendaries coming back is pretty whatever to me. I don't mind them being the focus of this story. What I don't like though is the process of catching these legendaries. Catching legendaries is boring. There, I said it. It's not fun, and it's not interesting. For almost all of them, the process is the same, and having to do so many of them in a short period of time as the story is revolving around it really highlights this problem. This is some hype gameplay, guys. Just throwing the balls. The process goes something like this. Hit them to low HP, using probably False Swipe on a ridiculously high level Pokemon, you paralyze it or status it in some way, and then just throw balls at it until it just happens to catch. I don't care what you say. This process is not very fun or satisfying. It's mindless. And if you fail, you can either reset the game or repeat, because in the case of the story, if you kill these legendaries, you can just spawn it back. Now, there was one legendary battle where you can't do this, where Galarian Articuno uses Psycho Shift, which transfers your status conditions back across to your own Pokemon, and it slowly dies to the hail in the area where I found it, so I couldn't keep it on low HP. Now, I don't know if this was intentional by the developers to make the process more interesting. Do they want me to bring an electric type so I can't get paralyzed back, with Rain Dance so I can negate the hail? Do they want me to trick it a safety goggles to make it immune to weather damage? I would probably say this was not intentional, as this was the only case where you had a mix-up on the catching process in the entire story, and I don't know why it would just be Articuno. Anyway, theory crafting these ideas and plans on how to catch it seems cool, but actually doing it and training stuff up to execute this plan seems like such a pain in the ass. The hail really makes things a lot more annoying, doesn't it? So, let's get rid of the hail, right? Never mind, I'm gonna die. So after trying, failing, and resetting the game a few times, I just used one of my 2 Master Balls I'd been given across the game, and I'd never actually needed to use them for anything. Is this lazy by me? Sure. Is there a better use for my 2 Master Balls? Probably not. Oh man. There. I really wanted to reset the game like 30 more times at least. But no, this is cool. If I have to, you know. Catching these legendaries is not a fun challenge for me. It's just extremely average. It's usually monotonous, and it's usually repetitive. Kinda like this whole DLC for me. There were a few good moments, but the time I was bored far outweighs these glimpses of fun. But I'll be getting to that later on in the video. I forget the best part about playing games, grinding for post-game legendaries and never playing the game again. Yeah, that is such a freaking mood. Now, a lot of people were telling me that they liked how many shiny hunting opportunities this DLC brought, and I just gotta get something off my chest. This may offend a lot of people, but shiny hunting is not good gameplay. Making shiny hunting odds lower in a specific area is not Game Freak's blessing to you. I don't really get the appeal of shiny hunting, as it's putting yourself through extremely repetitive tasks for a very underwhelming reward. It's like working in a factory or some shit. Like, I did a bit of it when I was younger and I had a lot more free time, but as an adult who works full time, I can't think of a worse way to waste my life. People say it's satisfying when you finally get the shiny to appear, to get that good brain chemical dopamine hit, but to me, it's just suffering, time-wasting, vapid crap. I don't hold anything against anyone who does like shiny hunting, but at this stage in my life, I can't imagine really ever doing it ever again. And Game Freak adding a new couple shiny hunting methods to the game is just a really easy way of making it appear like there's more content in this DLC than there really is. So as I was streaming my playthrough of this, I got asked this question a lot. Is getting this DLC expansion pass worth your money? Well, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but I don't have a good answer because it's a massive it depends. It depends on a lot of things. Now, if you've only just watched this video, you'd probably be thinking that there's no way that I think it's worth the money, with how negative I'm being. But I asked Twitter what they thought of it, and I saw a lot of people were actually replying saying that they're really enjoying it. A lot of people said it's better than the Isle of Armor, which I would agree with, but I also think doing a belly flop from a high dive is better than the Isle of Armor, so I guess saying the Crown Tundra is better is not really a powerful statement. Anyway, is it worth the money? Look, if you enjoyed Pokemon Sword and Shield a lot, and you liked 100%ing everything in it, completing the Pokedex and all that, then sure, it probably is. If you're like me and you work full time and have $30 to spare, then yeah, it's probably worth a try. You might find some enjoyment, and I personally don't regret buying it. Even if I don't really like it, I had a few good moments. Do you reckon I can make that face? If you are short on money though, and you'd be buying this over a different game, or maybe you'd be getting it as like a Christmas gift instead of something else if you're a bit younger, and you didn't 100% Sword and Shield as it is, then I can't say I recommend it. Isle of Armor kinda sucks, Crown Tundra is okay but nothing special, and I can think of a lot of games that you can get for $30 or less that I'd rather have than this. If you just got a Switch, I'd recommend Celeste, Hollow Knight, or Minecraft. Like I said, these are all $30 or less, and you're probably gonna have way more fun for a lot longer. Pokemon just does not fit the concept of DLC. The Pokemon games are an adventure. After you finish the game, every battle, capture, and reward starts to become trivial, and that's okay, because the game is finished. Everything from that point is just a bit of extra stuff. either for completion's sake, competitive play, or just, a bit of time wasting. Who thought it was a good idea to make content that you play after the post-game? Why am I surprised that post-game games are boring? I wish the time and resources that are going into these DLC areas were simply used on making a better new game. If you really believe that this DLC is 8+ hours of good Pokemon content, then that's a big portion of a new main series games, or hell, even a new remake of a Gen 4 game if that's what you want. Making mediocre DLC packs for Pokemon is such a waste of time and resources, and after these 2 boring outings, I can't say I really want any more. The Crown Tundra is not a step in the right direction for Pokemon. The whole concept of Pokemon DLC makes no sense with the way it's been executed, and I'm not looking forward to where it's going to go in the next couple of years. But I kinda figure they're probably going to make a couple more to finish the national dex and get every Pokemon in the game before they make a new game. And only then will we be free of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And hopefully Gen 9 is better, whatever the hell that happens to be. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the Crown Tundra and the expansion pass. Because a lot of people enjoyed this part of it, I'm not going to be surprised if you don't agree with me, and that's totally cool. Let me know what you think in the comments, as I would love to see some more opinions. Just keep it respectful if you can. I know it's a YouTube comment section, but do your best. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you guys in the next video.